Have you ever sat in a class and wondered, when will I ever use this? For me, throughout my educational career, this has occurred many times. Whether it was having to know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, or having to memorize the quadratic formula. And while we're sure to teach our students that x is equal to negative b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, we fail to educate them on something much more important: personal finance. Did you know that over half of Americans spend more money than they make? This is leading them to a debt-centered financial life. It's not surprising that the uneducated consumer is prone to make poor financial decisions. They are victims to a system that is designed for them to fail. According to an article from the International Journal of Business, Accounting, and Finance, the tendency to incur excessive debt develops at a very young age. We all know that in the United States, the cost of university is famous for being incredibly high, so most people cannot pay this sort of tuition out of pocket. So it has become the norm in our society to take out debts or student loan. And so when students are reaching the age of 18, they have to make a really big financial decision on where they want to go to school, if they want to go to school, and how expensive of a school they want to go to. And a lot of students go throughout their high school career thinking like college is exactly what they need to do, that's what everyone does. And I think high school guidance counselors kind of give students the idea that it is what everyone does, and so you will pay the debt after you graduate, and no matter what your job is, even if you will come out making a really low income, you'll still be able to pay off your debts, is the idea. And so I think students go in making unwise financial decisions because they just don't know any better. They're not taught any better, and they don't really think about it because this is money that you won't have to pay now. You'll be paying it years and years in the future. Student loan debt has actually increased rapidly in the last couple of decades and has reached $1.4 trillion in 2018, according to an article by Benjamin Marks and Leslie Turner. And so I'm not saying that all debt is bad debt, and a college education can open up a world of opportunities. However, it's extremely important to assess the risk and reward associated with going into debt, especially if you're not promised a well-paying job afterwards. The lack of financial education leads to many young college students making unwise decisions with long-term effects. Another reason schools should consider teaching courses in financial literacy is because of the way the credit system works in the United States. In the United States, you need credit. If everybody knows that if you want to buy a house, you don't pay for the house in full. You take out a mortgage, and you make payments on that mortgage, and you pay interest. And everyone knows if you want to buy a car, most times people can't buy the car in full, so they either lease it or they make car payments. And again, they're paying interest. And so the fact that it's so easy to get a credit card and to spend money you just don't have gives people the false idea that it's okay to spend money you don't have, and it's normal, and it's kind of how you achieve the American dream. So credit card debt has actually become a huge problem for many people in the United States. According to an article from the International Journal of Business, Accounting, and Finance, 76% of undergraduate students have credit cards, and these students have an average of $2,169 worth in credit card debt. Another thing that these kind of individuals don't realize is not only will they have to pay back the money that they borrow or they spend, they'll also have to pay interest on that. And credit cards have a really high interest rate. That's how they make their money. It's usually at least 18%. So for example, if you spent $100, you'd be ending up paying $118 to them. And so that's how credit card companies make their money. According to Anna Maria Lusardi, those who are more financially literate are less likely to have credit card debt in the first place, and are more likely to pay the full balance at the end of each month instead of just paying the minimum that's due. If young adults had a money management education, they'd be more wise in taking out getting credit cards and the money that they spend with their credit cards, and they'd make more financially savvy decisions. And the final reason that schools should teach financial education courses is because money is a top cause of stress for Americans. According to a 2015 APA survey, This article states that on average, Americans are living with stress levels that are considered higher than what is healthy. People under lots of stress don't necessarily take care of themselves in the way that they should be. They kind of have other things to worry about, and so high levels of stress can really be detrimental to someone's health. People under lots of financial stress are more likely to report having high blood pressure and having digestive issues and ulcers. And it's no surprise that financial problems are among the top stressors in Americans' lives. If people were given a financial education, they could have a better opportunity to avoid making poor financial decisions and therefore protect themselves from the stress of poor financial management. Without an increase in financial literacy, people will increasingly be at a higher risk of making poor financial decisions. This is not just a personal financial problem to some, but it should be a concern for the U.S. as a nation. By requiring students to take courses in personal finance, there's at least the chance that they will value some of the concepts taught. Less people would be struggling to pay their bills, getting credit, and managing their money. Financial education is something individuals and our society as a whole can only benefit from.